What's up, Catawba Nation? Welcome to our third podcast of Beyond the Sand. Today we have two grad students that came from indoor volleyball, and I'm super excited to talk about this with them because I actually haven't gotten to hear much about it. So today we have Alleigh Johnson and Emma Christensen. Alleigh, introduce yourself.
My name is Alleigh Johnson. I'm from Greenville, North Carolina. I'm 22 years old, and I came from Queens, University of Charlotte, and I played indoor for 4 years. And I got my bachelor's in psychology, and then I'm here at Catawba getting my master's in business administration.
My name is Emma Christensen. I've also played 4 years of indoor volleyball. I came from a JUCO back in my hometown in Utah, and then I transferred to Newberry College for 2 years where I graduated with my bachelor's of exercise science. And now I'm playing a year of beach and getting my master's in healthcare administration.
Cool. Awesome. Well, this is the first time we do it with two people, so I'll give you both opportunities to talk about this. But questions first, where did this come from, right? I know that a lot of people are trying to play beach for their fifth year now. There's a possibility of playing a fifth year right now in NCAA, but beach is very common for people to end their indoor careers and then come find beach programs to play for. But where did this kind of start, and has it been what you expected?
I'll go first. So I decided to play beach because I learned actually last semester of my senior year that I could play another year of a different sport, and I thought beach volleyball was a really good opportunity for me to play a different sport, learn different things, and it's been a great opportunity. It hasn't been what I expected totally, but it's been really good. I've had fun.
Okay, we'll get deep into it. But Alleigh already played two sports growing up, right? And then now you're here. How did that go?
I wasn't ready to give up volleyball yet, so when I had this opportunity, I was like, I have to take it. And I love to learn new things and meet new people along the way, so I just had to do it, and it was not what I expected. It's definitely harder than I expected it to be.
Okay, cool. So with that answer, tell us a little bit about what are some adjustments that we've made, right? Indoor, to me, it's a way faster game, right? You play in a team with a bunch of people, but you have one role, right? One or two roles depending on your position. I played indoor too growing up, and I was always a libero, and to me, there's two things I would always practice. Everything else was just kind of you just play around with it. And then when I moved to beach, it was hold on a second. I need to be good at all of these things. This is really hard. And you're in a different environment. And it depends on you the whole time, right? Because it's just you and your partner. And usually you're getting served at. So how has that been as far as adjusting to beach volleyball?
Adjusting to beach. So we're both right sides. So our biggest roles were blocking and hitting, offense and defense. So switching to beach was definitely a big change because we are getting served at most of the time. So we have to control the ball, serve, receive. All the fundamentals in beach are so much more different than indoor. You're controlling close to you, and then your approach timing, block timing, everything is just so much different. And I feel every day we're learning something new, whereas indoor it was a lot of the same. It was more about repetitions rather than learning what the other team's going to do, what you have to do with the different opportunities that you have. So it's definitely been a big change. But
yeah, what about you, Alleigh?
I would say passing to target. Our first week, I was just passing to target the entire time. Even with approaching, I was so early. I still am early to this day, but just learning that you have to slow things down a little bit and then think about the play ahead of you rather than everything else that's going on, if that makes sense.
Interesting. If you had to say hardest skill in beach volleyball right now, what would it be for both of you?
Pulling.
And setting, actually. That's mine, is setting.
What's setting the ball?
I've been struggling.
Yeah. I mean, you also never set. Well, on the right side, maybe if you had to play right side defense once in your life, you had to set a ball.
But you can double. You can do whatever in indoor now.
That's very true. Yeah. What's one thing that you like better in beach compared than indoor? Nothing is.
I like that we're outside.
Oh, yeah.
Like when we were indoor, like you wouldn't get any outside time, but like now it's like we're always outside.
Yeah.
I like that. And I like how you're more intimate with like the people around you, not just like becoming like where you have to be best friends with the people on your team because you are a team. But now it's like you get to know one person more than you would have thought that you would have if you were indoor.
Yeah. Yeah. 100%.
I agree. And also, I just like that in beach, you get a lot more opportunities than in indoor. Like, you're touching every ball. You have a chance to, like, come back from your mistakes, learn from your mistakes. And I don't know. I just love being able to touch every ball and play a lot more, have more playing time.
Yeah, I agree. And I also think, like, that creates a lot of pressure, right? Like, a lot of the times it's just, there's no other way. There's no subs. There's no timeouts. There's only 2 per set. So it's really tough to, like, be strong in a game mentally, to continue to play well the whole time. I think it's so much of the same. Like 21 points, you have to side out. Right? Like, and if you don't, it's like you're gonna lose the game. There's no other way, unless the other team loses the game first.
Definitely.
But you're not winning. You know what I mean? Like you have to go through that moment. With that being said, you said something you like about beach, and then what's something like you don't like that you miss about indoor?
Say what you were gonna say. The weather.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I was gonna back off of yours. It's also playing outside. Like you're gonna be in rain, wind. Like you have to look at the weather. Like every day morning, I check the weather app to see what the weather is, like temperature, what you have to wear, because you're not wearing the same thing. Like in indoor, you wear the same thing every day. You have to actually think about what you're gonna wear, layer up, or
Because when I was in indoor, I would only check the weather from the dorm to the gym. And that was all that mattered.
All I have to work.
But now it's like we have to spend an hour and a half outside. So it's
And we haven't had bad days, guys. You don't understand. Like, it hasn't been cold. It hasn't been raining that much. We got one practice.
It was freezing.
Where it was freezing.
The morning practice
was... I'm telling you, there's worse days than that. Okay, so you just played last weekend in Tennessee. That's our first fall tournament. I know it's probably tough. It's like first time you play indoor. We had 4 weeks of practice, and it was very skill based. So we didn't work a lot on like how do we actually win this game, you know? And you just had to step up and like kind of figure it out on your own. Tell me a little bit about how that went.
It was rough. I don't even know what there is to say, but it was rough. Very humbling. But like something that needed to happen because it's like now that we've played those girls, we can see where we could be at, and it just helped with like learning and like knowing how to play the game and when to do certain things and finding opportunities to score and just like kind of going off of what they were doing. It's like, okay, well, if they can do that, I can do that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, definitely. We need to be able to see people, right, to look up to something. What about you, Emma?
Yeah. It was definitely rough. I feel like the first game, I remember we were watching it back and it was like the same point over. I just shank.
Was that a replay?
Yeah, we were like, was it a replay? No, I just could not pass this first like 5 points. But I feel like it was definitely a lot of nerves going into it first. Yeah. I think it's definitely a lot different than indoor when it comes to that aspect. So like once you actually get in the game and kind of lock in a sense, it's definitely more calming than the first point of the game. But I thought it was good. Like there's definitely a lot of things we have to learn and just keep practicing and learning what they're doing, like you said, and learning what we have to do to like capitalize on our points.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I can't even remember the first time I played my beach tournament, so I can't even relate to like what you guys just experienced. But I can imagine it's probably very hard. Just people that have been playing for 10 years, right? Just like over and over and over, and you're like, okay, here we go, first tournament, yay, you know? So I think it's tough, and I appreciate that we were able to experience that in the fall too. With that being said, I know there's a lot of like pressure, right? Like Emma, you received every single ball for the last 2 days of competition. Alleigh 50-50, but still like a lot of pressure of like trying to figure it out. Like how has that like mental game impacted y'all, and like do you actually feel like that much pressure versus indoor? Because I feel like in indoor, especially as a hitter, like sometimes like you're on like you can't do anything, but the ball goes up and you just hit as hard as possible and you score and you move on, you know. With beach, like I feel like you can't fix things like that most of the time. With power, you have to be like, okay, like what am I doing? Where am I passing and how am I going to score so I can get back in my run, you know? How has that changed for you guys?
I think that I had a lot more pressure indoor than I do here. Like my coach, when I was indoor, put a lot of pressure on me. Like I had to perform a certain way, but here it's like I do have like a certain sense of pressure, but like I'm learning to trust my partner a little bit more, so then I can rely and put some pressure on her, but not like all of it. So I don't know. I feel like there is a lot of pressure though, like in the moment of like each play of when you should pull, when you should do this shot, all that. That's where the pressure is, I feel like, for
decision making.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I feel like mine's the opposite. I feel more pressure in beach, definitely, just because, like, in indoor, there were times, like, there were rallies where I didn't even touch the ball. Like, in beach, it's touching every ball and knowing, like, what to do in each situation. Like, if you can do a power shot or if you should, like, see them pulling and hit, like, the shots instead. But I think the mental aspect of it is definitely different than indoor for sure.
Yeah. I think I can relate to that. I think I feel way more stuck in beach versus indoor. Like, there's other people there, you know, they can figure it out in indoor. But I understand your point, like, maybe with that environment that you were in, like, it actually depended a lot on you, so, like, you had to play that role. I like that answer, though. So, like, tell me a little bit about, we obviously haven't been in bench with you guys as much, like we have, but we also tried to like just let it happen because you need to like go through this phase before we actually give information that you can understand. But pressure from like coach and staff, right? Like I think beach style coaching is very different than indoor coaching. I've coached both. Till last year I was coaching indoor, and I tried to make it the same, but I understand that they're just different. You have to move on differently with how you speak to your players, how you connect to them, and all these things. Like, do you have any insights about like coach-player relationship, beach versus indoor?
Yeah, I feel like it is very different. And for beach especially, I feel like it's more like you and your partner. I feel like me and Marcel a lot last weekend, like she helped me a ton while we were playing, like telling me what I need to do different, how we need to capitalize on our points. But then it was also very nice to have you guys on some of our games to like take those timeouts and talk to you guys, seeing what we can do different, how to win the games that we were playing. But I think in that aspect, it's different than indoor because you have your one person you're playing with to help you out kind of and to coach you through, like coach each other, kind of switch things up if things aren't working. So I like that aspect of it too.
I will say that it's very more like individualized in practice. Like we do like the small groups, and in indoor, like you don't start doing that until you're out of season. And it's only like, but even in the small groups, that's like 10 people. But now it's like we have our small groups, it's 4 people. It's very like skill-based drills and everything's like slowing down, which is so much nicer than what it was in indoor.
Right. Yeah, you have to, right? Like, it's too many people in indoor. Like, there's something that you can't do this unless you're off season. You have a lot of time. Yeah, I think, like, you know, when I coach beach, I almost think about, like, creating coaches in the court. You know, like, how do I coach you guys to be coaches, not just players? Because we're 2, sometimes 1, and there's 5 games happening at the same time in SAC championship. So, like, there's no way we're going to be able to be with you guys all the time and tell you what happens. So I think when we coach, like, we're trying to have at least one person in a partnership that like knows how to run the game, strategically speaking, that's going to be calm and like, this is what we're doing, because we're not going to have the chance to do that, right, as coaches. So like with Marcelo, like I know we talk about this a lot with Eliza, like same thing with you, because you 2 are coming into the game fresh, right? So it's like, let them just be physical and then we can try to figure out. And then once you're like actually got the physicality, like how do we think about the game? I think it's like the way you think as a coach in beach. When indoor is like, call a timeout and you can tell everything you want, you know, right now with everybody there. So I definitely think it's like a challenge, but also a cool thing about our jobs.
Yeah.
You know, when you think about beach, there's like strategy, creativity, independence comes into play too. Because you kind of have to be creative in the game to like be able to make it work. A lot of people have different styles of game, right? Like you two are two examples of like very different styles in my perspective. Have you been able to like kind of find that style like in other people or in the tournament that you played last weekend? Is it kind of like getting clear to you? Like, what's my thing? Like, is it power? Am I smart? Like, you have a good serve and I can just think strategically, or I'm just there to like hit the ball, you know? Has that crossed your mind at all?
Yeah, I feel like the more we practice and stuff, we're kind of learning what our own strategies are and like our shots that we like to do and stuff. Because I know like I'm confident in a couple shots that I can just go up and do. But I feel like in the past week or two, we've been really like talking about different strategies and how like some people will go up, they'll hit 2 shots and then they'll change it on the third one. Or we were talking the other day about how some people just different shots every time they go up. So I think it's been really cool this past 2 weeks to see like what different options you have with like the set you're given, or like you pass to the pin and then you have to like hit the cut shot, and knowing that with the other team too, and like playing off of what they're doing. It's just a lot of different thinking and just strategy in general.
Yeah, I remember after first tournament, you're like, yeah, my mind is actually really tired.
Yeah,
my
body's mentally
fine,
drained.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely.
What about you, Alleigh?
I know we kind of talked about, like, for me, mine would be, like, creativity and finding, like, the opportunities on when to score and what to do in those. So I feel like mine would be trying to get to creativity once I can figure out how to get my feet to the ball. But other than that, I think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, I mean, that's why the fall is a lot of physical stuff, right? To, like, be able to get where we need to get to do the creative stuff, right? It's really hard to be, you might have that on you already, but because you're not on the ball yet, like there's no way to do this.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do it, which is great, you know, but so if the ball is too far, like we just don't have enough control to get there. So that's why like fall is super big. With that being said, you know, like your fitness probably have to change a lot to adapt to beach. We just finished, this week is our last week of 8 weeks for our running program, our strength conditioning program. How do you feel like physically, like right now? And be honest, if you don't feel like actually where we need to be, then be honest, I love that. But how has that changed with like working on sand? Because we call it sand legs, like you do build these with the time. From day one to now, like any change, no change? What does it feel like?
I feel like I'm in the best shape I've ever been in my life.
Definitely.
Yes. I feel like when we're running, especially like looking from this week to the first time that we ran, I couldn't even run for 15 minutes straight. Like I couldn't continuously run, but now it's like I can continuously run for, what did we do, 50 minutes in the sand?
Yeah.
So
yeah, it's a long time.
I feel like you did very good with like our conditioning and like going, progressive training?
Yeah,
Is
so
that what
4
it's
weeks
called?
up, 4 weeks, 1 week
Right.
down, and then back up.
Yeah, I feel like that worked like very well for us. Like the first week, it was definitely very hard, and it's still hard now. But I feel like from running on the ground for 15 minutes now, when we run out on the sand for like an hour, it doesn't like when we're jogging on the sand. It's honestly nice because it's like, oh, this is like our break. But
looking forward to it.
Yeah, but like. A year ago, if you would have told me I would have been running in the sand for an hour straight, I would have been like, there's no way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I mean, that's like one of the hardest programs there is, you know, but it's also when I feel the greatest, like training, like that to me is like, whoa, you're a powerhouse, right? Like you're running for 15 minutes and you're going into court and like doing stuff. Yesterday we did hitting, you know, like jumping for 8 balls and then running again and jumping again. It's hard, you know? But luckily, like, I think we're able to find, like, a good balance. Some of us broke down halfway there, but we survived, and I'm happy about it. I think it's good to hear that you feel great, you know, and I think there's so much more, like, along the way, but I think we found something good for our team, so that's good.
And I also think, like, it doesn't just help with physicality. I feel like it does help with mental because, like, if you were to look on the sand, like, we are playing for at least that long, and it's like, can you stay in it that long? When you have to pull, like when we were doing the pulling, like your legs are dead by then, but you still have to do it. So like pull and then dive. Like mentally staying locked in for that long amount of time.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right? Like, if we can do it for 6 reps and still run, like, we can do it for 2 in a game and stay alive, you know? That's cool. Okay, moving, like, out of volleyball a little bit, but more about your own life. Like, you know, online school, like, it's different. You're living in a different city. 5th year coming into a program that already have people returning. A lot of transfers this year, but it's a different pace for you guys compared to, like, last year, being a senior, indoor classes, going to classes. How has your lifestyles changed, like, coming here and being a 5th year and, like, doing beach online, like, all these things?
It was definitely hard just because, like, since we are online, we don't have the campus environment that people do, like, when they have, classes on campus. So, and I'm really bad about change. So whenever I moved to a whole new city that I knew nobody in, and then I had classes online when I never saw those people. I would only see our teammates. That was like the struggle and like trying to figure out my place here at Catawba. But now I feel like it's gotten a lot better. Like getting to know the girls and then knowing those girls as friends and then just going, spreading our little wings, I guess.
Yeah. You also got a lot going on, right? Like jobs and you work a lot also. And we did the community event and stuff and it was fun to like see everybody that you work with there. Yeah. You live in the softball house, so it's a lot of people that you can connect with there too. So that's cool.
Yeah, I agree. I remember we were talking like probably the second week of school and we decided to go on campus and actually do like our homework and stuff. And we were like, we need to like get out on campus and meet people and stuff. But I feel like we've both done a good job of keeping busy, finding work to do throughout the week. So we're staying busy on top of our school and stuff as well as in volleyball. And then as well as meeting people outside of beach volleyball too. Like we both live with softball girls, so it's good to get out and meet new people.
That's cool. Nice. Okay, so question for you last year, basically. What advice would you give to yourself if you like think about yourself last year, right? At the same time, and you're probably like trying to figure out what you're going to do after indoor season and like maybe spring, you still don't know. I know you came into summer, so it's crazy. But, you know, living what you're living now with beach, like what advice could you tell the people that are thinking, brainstorming the same idea or feel like they still got more like right after their senior year with indoor?
I would say give yourself some grace. Like, it's not going to come as easily as it did in indoor, like, where you just go into practice and you already know what you have to do. But now it's like you do have to take a step back and, like, have the mental capacity to take all of this information in. And I would just, I'm still working on giving myself grace, but I would be giving people grace.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely patience, too, just being patient with yourself and just going into practice every day, like wanting to learn something new, because every day, like, we're still learning new things every day, and just that, like, you're gonna get humbled by the sand. Like, I'm still every day getting humbled by the sand, but you'll continue to grow, and it'll be, like, it's very fun. We've had a lot of fun with it, so.
Nice. Cool. Okay, moving forward, like, what are some goals, what are some dreams that you have with your beach careers? You're still young, you still got a lot to give, and there's one more year for y'all here, but we obviously have huge expectations and think you guys are going to do awesome and are really confident about that and love having you here. It's just started, just the beginning of a really cool chapter of your lives, but we're obviously pleased to get to do this with y'all. But what are some things that are in your mind, like, as far as this year comes up and where you're at now? Like, can you see yourself playing? Like, can you see yourself winning? We've seen already, like, what you have to compete with, like, this past weekend. So when you look at that, like, what do you feel?
I feel good. Just because at the pace and, like, the rate that we are going, we've been here for, like, 2 months and we're, like, slowly getting there to finally, let me start over. Let me start over. Okay,
take your time. I'm actually not gonna cut this. I like it.
So, like, at the rate that we're moving, I feel like we will be in a good place by the time spring comes around, and I feel really good with where we're at.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited for season to come. I feel like we still have a lot to learn with the last 4 weeks that we had.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy that we've already gone through 2 months. But
Yeah.
I think we still have a lot to learn, but I feel like these next couple of tournaments coming up will have a good opportunity to grow and learn. And for season, I am excited to play in conference and stuff.
Yeah. And I feel like when we were playing on November 1st, since we will be home, it'll be like a boost of confidence because it is our home
Definitely.
court. Like we've been playing here for months now. So I hope it goes better.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah. I
successful.
think that's a big change. You know, like the court and beach, like you said, the environment, like makes a huge difference in the game, right? And that's maybe something you felt there, but Tusculum was definitely deeper. The sand was deeper.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
I felt it.
It was
Yes, confirmed. So yeah, it's always something you have to play with. You know, like here, our nets are way higher at practice for that reason to make you feel the same pressure at a different facility, right? So I think it's all good stuff. I'm really happy about how you guys are doing, and I think there's still a lot of gas in you. So we try to push as much as we can, and I think you feel it. Sorry about that, but it's all for good. And I think you guys are really mature, right? And like that's the reason why you're here, right? I love getting grads because I think there's so much value in the experiences you already lived and that you can share with the group. So I think it shows, and I think it's important for us. So anything else you would like to tell people about yourselves in this podcast?
about ourselves.
Yeah.
We're a lot of fun.
We're a lot of fun. These two are really
Come
fun.
to Catawba.
Come see us November 1st. Be there.
First home game.
All right. First home game, November 1st. Thank you so much, y'all, for listening. This is episode number 3 with Alleigh Johnson and Emma Christensen.